In the twisted dance of modern dating, these women have a penchant for the top 10% of men while entertaining settling for the bottom 90%. My channel is here to awaken men, reminding them not to be a mere settling ground for any woman. Men, recognize your worth. You are the coveted prize. The irony intensifies when these women, perplexed by their single status, start questioning the scarcity of good men. It's a vicious cycle. They're all vying for the same high-caliber man to secure their survival. Flip the narrative. It's not that men need women. It's women who depend on men for survival and protection, entering their hoe-phase in their 20s, being treated as conquests by the notorious bad boys. They end up with kids from different fathers. As they hit the dreaded 30s, a stroll down social media memory lane leads them to Joe, once rejected in college. Suddenly, Joe is back in the picture, not because of any residual affection, but because he looks successful now. The motive? To see if they can get him to be the provider for their kids and them. It's not about love, it's about the resources Joe can provide. The predictable plot unfolds. Either Joe is gullible enough to commit, she dupes him of his assets, or he treats her as dismissively as she was treated in her 20s. As these women realize the higher-tier men no longer seek them, every man on the street becomes a potential marriage pawn. The irony thickens in the dating escapade of women. During their prime, they chase the bad boys, drawn to their dark allure and assertiveness. Women openly admit to craving domination, and these men fit the bill. But life intervenes, pregnancy halves their market value, and their once vast dating pool shrinks. The child takes center stage, and most men aren't keen on playing second fiddle in a woman's life. Excluding single mothers, you're left with women who burned through their prime in wild pursuits, now aging beyond their glory days. Top-tier men are uninterested, unless, of course, it's for a temporary slump buster. Enter Mr. Nice Guy, ever ready to pick up where another man left off. He's willing to be second to a single mother's child, play another man's saved game, and, ironically, is thrilled to finally be with the woman he likely admired during her prime, but was brushed aside as she pursued the bad boys. The controversial truth of modern dating is laid bare. The nice guy. Let's not misunderstand. Nice guys have their role. Without them, women might be incessantly venting to us instead of the patient nice guy who sits, hands folded, ready to nod patiently as he awaits his turn. Now, there's a reason why nice guys supposedly finish last. They're the ones wrapping up the games that other men initiated but had yet to conclude. Despite the protests from triggered women or soy boys claiming otherwise, the saying holds, proof is in the pudding, and that pudding is life. Just take a good look around. Observe this intriguing dynamic in action. Consider this. An overlooked, perhaps less conventionally attractive girl typically receives little attention from the attractive guys. If she decides to embark on a fitness journey, transforming into an attractive individual, those guys who once ignored her are suddenly vying for her affection. However, she rejects them all, choosing to connect with others. Why would anyone embrace those who dismissed them in the past, now that they're seeking solace? Don't subject yourself to such a scenario. You deserve better than someone who, after trashing you, is now broken and potentially dealing with the aftermath of numerous bad boys who entered her life while she was dismissing you. A woman of this sort doesn't merit a second chance. She had her opportunity, but chose to reject you. So, don't accept her. She doesn't need saving. She can turn to her bad boys for that. In the realm of modern dating, these women tend to gravitate toward the top 10% of men while contemplating settling for the bottom 90%. Channels like mine aim to enlighten men, urging them not to allow any woman to settle for them. Men, recognize your worth. You are the coveted prize. It's no wonder these women wonder why they're single and where all the good men have gone. It's a cutthroat competition for the same top-tier man to secure survival. In this narrative, it's not that men need women, it's women who rely on men for survival and protection. Women and their hoe-phase. After embracing their hoe-phase in their 20s, being treated as a mere conquest by the so-called bad boys, they end up with children from different fathers. As they hit 30, they peruse social media and stumble upon a familiar face, Joe, whom they once rejected in college. Suddenly interested not because of any lingering feelings, but because Joe looks successful now. The motive? to see if they can get him to take care of their kids and them. The underlying theme is not love, but the resources Joe can provide. The predictable narrative unfolds. Either Joe is naive enough to commit, she deceives him of his assets, or he treats her as dismissively as she was treated in her 20s. When these women realize that the higher-end men no longer desire them, every man on the street becomes a potential marriage candidate. The irony is apparent in the dating journey of women. During their prime or sexual market high, many spend it with the bad boys, or darkly mysterious men, or jerks, due to the excitement and assertiveness these men offer. Women often admit to desiring domination, and these men fit the bill. However, life intervenes, pregnancy halves their market value, and their dating pool shrinks. The child becomes the priority, and most men aren't keen on playing second fiddle in a woman's life. Excluding single mothers, you now have women who spent their prime in adventurous pursuits, but have now aged beyond their prime, and the consequences of life are evident. Top-tier men are uninterested unless it's for a temporary slump buster. Enter Mr. Nice Guy, ready to pick up where another man left off. He's willing to be second to a single mother's child, play another man's saved game, and, ironically, is thrilled to finally be with the woman he likely admired during her prime but was overlooked as she pursued the bad boys. Picture the nice guy, patiently waiting, hands folded, ready to nod through the next emotional roller coaster. Nice guys, finish last now? About nice guys finishing last? Oh honey, it's not a myth. They're the cleanup crew for games other men started, but never planned to finish. And no matter how much the triggered crowd screams otherwise, the proof is in the pudding. Life's the pudding, darling. Take a good look around. The dynamics are more entertaining than reality TV. Consider this. The plain Jane, ignored by the hotties, hits the gym, becomes a bombshell, and suddenly those former ignorers want a piece of the action. But guess what? She kicks them to the curb. Why accept those who dissed you when they thought you were less than fabulous? Save yourself the drama. You deserve better than someone picking up the pieces after tangling with a parade of bad boys. Speaking of bad boys, these ladies in the modern dating circus, they're aiming for the top 10% while eyeing the rest for settling. Thank the heavens for channels like mine, schooling men not to let any woman treat them like the consolation prize. Men, you're the grand prize in this chaotic game. These women are out here wondering why they're solo, desperately seeking the elusive good man. Well, darling, they're all fighting tooth and nail for the same top-tier guy, forgetting that men don't need women. It's the other way around for survival and protection. It's a jungle out there, and men are the real kings. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can be the first to know when my new video drops. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.